Sooner, live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Welcome to the OU Huddle on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Also brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Now, here's the voice of the Sooners, Toby Rowland.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. It is a Monday night. That means it's time to talk Sooner sports, and we got 2 fun hours in front of you. Coming up in the next hour, it's all basketball. Porter Moser will be here. He's bringing Dayton Forsyth and Bryson Goodine with him. Sooners coming off their big win over Mississippi State on Saturday and getting set for the first ever visit to Norman from Big Blue Nation. Kentucky will be here on Wednesday night. Then Jenny Baranczyk will be here in the next hour as well. The Sooner women have won 5 in a row. They're on a roll with just 2 games to go in the regular season. Can't wait to talk to Coach Baranczyk. This first hour, we're talking golf and baseball. The Hall of Famer, Ryan Huddle, will be here when we come back from our opening timeout. And in the second half hour, Skip Johnson and the OU baseball team, what a weekend they had down in Round Rock, Texas. We'll visit with him as well. Opening segment brought to you by Community Coffee, the official brewed coffee of OU Athletics. Taste the difference that family makes. All right, we'll take an opening timeout. Ryan Huddle joins us here at Rudy's when we come back. Stay with us.
Is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The Trails Golf Club of Norman, where you'll experience everything you love about golf and more.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Rudy's. This segment brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. And it's time to tee it up now. We're going to talk some golf with the Hall of Fame head coach of the Sooners, Ryan Huddle. Make him welcome, everybody. How we doing, sir?
Doing great, thanks.
Good to have you here tonight. I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
It's always good to be back. Springtime, it's golf time, right? I mean, it was 75. It was beautiful out there today. We've definitely needed that, hadn't we? It's been a little chilly around here last week. So, no, it was it's been really fun to kind of get back in the swing of things here the last couple of days.
Today was glorious, man. I hope you got 36 in today, or your guys did anyway, because it was wonderful out there. Well, here we go. I know you guys have played one tournament in Puerto Rico in this semester, but this upcoming weekend you're headed to Vegas for the Southern Highlands, and then it's off and racing after that, and we're chasing a national championship. So time to get serious now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the busy time of the year for sure. You know, everybody wants to kind of think about the end, you know, in May and whatnot. But for us, I mean, end of February, end of March, super busy. We go Vegas, we go out to San Diego, close to where the national championship will be again this year at La Costa. And then we go down to Florida. So we're hopping around all over the country. We do that by design with schedule, try and get our guys on as many different grasses and as many different conditions as possible. So we pride ourselves in having as good of a schedule as anybody in the country, and you can kind of see that as we get going.
I've been trying to get Joe Castiglione to let me do some golf play-by-play for a long time, man. You're Puerto Rico, Vegas, San Diego, Pebble Beach, Hawaii, wherever.
Yeah.
Can't talk him into it yet. Puerto Rico, the opening tournament for you here after Christmas, finished in 5th place. I take it you weren't overly thrilled with how you played there, but what was your recap of how you guys did?
You know, you certainly want to start out winning. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, you know, the more you win, and that's the culture that we try and, you know, breed and believe in. But, you know, when we get down to Puerto Rico, it always feels good. It's 85 degrees. You know, golf, luckily, we kind of chase the sun. And, you know, it's fun to get down there and swing freely. And the guys are going from, you know, the cold temperatures down there, and it feels really good. But I don't take a bunch away from Puerto Rico. I mean, we made actually quite a few birdies. We weren't very good in certain spots. We made too many mistakes. But that's nothing like the golf courses that we see throughout the year. Island golf is a little bit different. We actually didn't putt the ball very well, and if you get on the bad side of putting down there, the hole looks, it looks tiny. It's like threading a needle, and I could feel that from the guys for sure. But anyway, it's good. We learn a lot. We take a big squad down there, even though we only play with 5. I actually had 8 guys competing, 3 as individuals. So it's honestly, viewed a little bit for me almost like a continual qualifier as we kind of get going. And Las Vegas is probably the biggest tournament of the springtime outside of your championship season. It's got just a great field, and it feels like a PGA Tour event. So our guys love it out there.
That starts Sunday, by the way. Let's take a look at how you guys did in the fall. An outstanding run through the fall, racking up tournament victories left and right, and it really set the table for you going into the spring here. You won out in Hawaii. Jackson Dow claimed the individual title. You won the Ben Hogan Collegiate. A lot of top 25 teams there. You won the Valero Texas Collegiate. Jay Summey got hot down the stretch of that one. Really good golf for your team in the fall.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The win at Colonial in Fort Worth, very similar to the Las Vegas event that we're about to go play in. It's arguably the best tournament when it comes to field. One of the cool things about college golf, and you might see college athletics move to this area, with conferences all over the country. I've always felt like it'd be smart to have volleyball tournaments in Dallas where everybody meets up. And, same thing with us. We've been doing it for 50 years that way in college golf where, 15 teams show up. So you get a lot of crossovers. Not every sport can do that, right? Baseball would have a hard time with that. Maybe softball could, right? Because they can pitch every single day. But that's the really special thing about our sport. We get quite a few crossovers. So within a year, we're going to play, whatever it is, 150 teams. We'd like to go 150-0.
I like that idea. I like it a lot. Tell me about the SEC. Since you brought it up, I was going to ask you about this later, but every sport obviously jumping into a new conference this year. Like everything else, the SEC is kind of the creme de la creme here. How do you size up the conference this year?
Well, our conference is, Big 12 men's golf has always been special.
Right. With
Oklahoma State and Texas, very, very difficult conference to win. But the depth has never been there. But to win, to beat those types of teams, you have to be a national championship contender. In the SEC, it's similar, but now we have serious depth.
Right.
16 teams. I want to say 14 of us are ranked inside the top 25.
Wow.
So it's kind of like what you're seeing in men's basketball right now, where every single week. And that's, Ole Miss is really good this year. Auburn won the national championship last year. They're really good again. The Florida guys are amazing. Alabama's, big time. Well, by the way, Texas is still, Texas golf, and so it's really extremely tough. But man, we're looking forward to it. Sea Island, that's where our championship is every year. I actually played in it. My freshman year was the first year that the championship was down at Sea Island. So I played at Georgia, and that's where it started. So we've got a 25-year history down there now, and honestly, I think it's a great setup for us. Going down into the southeastern part of the country is a little nervy for me because big, tall trees.
Sure.
It kind of scares our guys a little bit. But down there, it's like playing out at Prairie Dunes. Wide open. You got winds coming off the ocean, and it's usually windy down there in April. So I think it's actually a really good setup for the Oklahoma guys.
Sea Island's a little different than you see maybe in Alabama or Georgia or some of these other locations, just from the visualization of
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, we don't have the big, tall pine trees down on this golf course. It's very linksy looking. So, and again, my comparison is Prairie Dunes up in Hutchinson, Kansas, where we've played many, many Big 12 championships. It has a little bit of that vibe to it.
Is it special for you to be back in Georgia's conference and everything? Is that going to be fun for you?
Yeah, no, it is. It hasn't really changed anything, for how we schedule. We've been playing SEC teams forever. In Puerto Rico, we probably played against 8 SEC teams, and we've been doing that, throughout college golf. So that really hasn't changed much. But for me personally, absolutely. When we go down to Sea Island, and there's going to be a lot of Georgia Bulldogs down there barking, and I've told everybody this is my opportunity to tell everybody that's listening tonight too that we're going to try and bring the Crimson Wave, and that's not the Alabama Crimson Tide, that's the Oklahoma Crimson and Cream, to try and get everybody to come down to Sea Island. It's April 21 through 29 area, so we'd love to see as many Sooners down there as we possibly can.
What a great vacation, and you can watch some great men's golf as well. I want to ask you about your players next segment. So before we go to break here, tell folks about the Brody, which I believe is what you're calling it, and how close are we to having this cool facility done that you're building?
Yeah, we've been working on our facilities for basically 14 months now, and we've been in trailers, so we're tired of it. It definitely is making us appreciate what's getting ready to happen. But the Brody Family Performance Center, if you're driving down Constitution, you're probably starting to see some new buildings. One that just got beautiful signage up that says Oklahoma Golf. That's where all of our indoor golf simulator, our putting greens, our putting lab, all the technology for golf will be in that facility. And then the Ransom House, which was our old Charlie Coast Center, it's going to be completed in about six weeks or so. So we've got big projects going on, great support for Oklahoma golf. There's no doubt about it. I can't thank everybody enough for where we've come from, and not just where we are, but where we're going. We've been so good over the last however many years, but I really believe that we have a lot of growth in our golf program left, and a big part of that in our sport is facilities. Everybody wants to kind of shut things down now, because what's going on in college athletics. But in golf, every golfer loves great facilities, great turf space. You have to be able to provide great facilities. So I'm just really thankful for where we are.
Where does this put you in kind of the golf's arms race with what other schools have facilities-wise?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really compare when it comes to everybody has good stuff in our sport. We're fortunate to be around, folks that usually that are tied into golf, and they're affluent folks, and they like giving back. So every place out there, Vanderbilt is really good, and Georgia's really good, and Alabama has just built this unbelievable facility that caught a lot of wind. They spent however many millions of dollars, but I'm going to tell you, I would put our place against anybody's.
Yeah.
We have the acreage for our guys and girls team, as good as anybody. Our new buildings, they're going to be exactly what we need. Some things that we just wanted, but overall, it's going to help our program continue to thrive. And I'm really happy. And Jimmy Austin continues to be a great championship golf course for us.
For sure.
Because we have really awesome relationships with the people that run Jimmy Austin, like Tyler Woodward.
Yeah.
And our golf course superintendent, Cody Elwood, who does a great job for us. And it's a very undervalued piece of college golf. If you don't have great access to your golf course, we can go out and do whatever we want to every day. That's huge. Because I don't have a gym that we,
right.
Jenny and Porter, they can, block. There's nobody coming in their gym because it's theirs. A golf course is different. You have a lot of moving parts. So, I'm incredibly thankful for what Jimmy Austin has been for us.
That's great. Nobody in the SEC is playing on a goat ranch. They're all good.
Oh, no.
What was the course in Caddyshack? What was I'll think of it during the commercial break. But
you're talking about Bushwood.
Bushwood.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing at Bushwood in the SEC.
No.
But Jimmy Austin and the Brody and everything you guys are doing, really top notch. It's very cool to see. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll talk about some of this year's team that will be chasing the title when we come back with Ryan Hibble. Stay with us.
Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Sooner Kids Club presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Orthodontics exclusively, Mathis Home, and Devon Energy. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.Soonersports.com.
All right, welcome back to Rudy's, everybody. It's the Huddle. We got Skip Johnson standing by. He'll be joining us next segment to talk about that unbeaten OU baseball team so far. This segment brought to you by Taco Mayo. Big appetite, bigger savings. Download and save today. Ryan Hibble with us. I want to go down your roster here and ask you about some of these guys, and you just let us know going into the spring chase here how you're feeling about it. Okay. Ryder Cowan, we saw that he did some big things for you in the fall. He's been great for you.
Ryder continues to thrive. He's not surviving; he's thriving. I've got high hopes for him this springtime. There's no doubt that he is All-American caliber. Edmond, Oklahoma. I just think he keeps growing and growing, maturing. with his game, but with his mind. And every single day, it kind of almost looks easier and easier. And that's what you like to see out of your guys, is when the game kind of slows down and, the hamster's not running too fast up there, because it can get going for us pretty quick. So, yeah, he's doing a great job.
You got a good collection of vets and some exciting youngsters, too. And Drew Goodman's one of those veterans. He's been with you for a long time.
Yeah, fourth year. Drew's one of the better players in the country. He battled a little bit of a wrist injury kind of over the off season, but he's back, and he's made some golf swing changes, and I like where he's heading. He didn't play phenomenal down in Puerto Rico, but he's going to get his feet up underneath him. He loves Vegas. He always plays well out there, so looking forward to seeing him out there with a chance to win next week.
A couple of more seniors, fifth-year seniors for you. Stephen Campbell and Jackson Dow also have played a lot of golf.
Yeah, they have fifth-year guys, and they are just great leaders for us. They really are. I'm going to miss them so much when they pack it on in. I keep reminding them that we've only got one semester, and I can't. Sometimes I'm being sarcastic because I'm ready for them to move on, but sometimes it's real. I just love them to death, and again, their spring, everything's in front of them, and we've got high-level competition every single week to get in our lineup, and they're part of that. I'll just watch Jackson Dow. These last 2 days look really good in qualifying, and he's done a really nice job out in Vegas too. So don't be surprised maybe if he's not a part of that.
Jay Summey, always one of my favorites. He's capable of getting on a heater and ripping off 5, 6, 7 in a row at times, and at times go the other way too on you. But he's a lot of fun.
He is, and I'm going to tell you, Jace over the break, he got invited to the Walker Cup practice.
Okay.
So this is a Walker Cup year. That's every other year. It's similar to the Ryder Cup, right, in amateur golf. And he also went to Australia and competed for Team USA there on a two-man team. And I just think it's given him that much more confidence. When you start kind of doing the international side of things and you're invited to the elite of the elite, he came back, and I had him actually talk to the guys about what his experiences were like, because sometimes we can just learn from our own guys as much as anybody, right? And for them to be able to hear that, I think was special. But similar to Ryder, I think the game is slowing down for him in a way. He just walked off the 18th green 30 minutes ago and shot an easy 5 under par, and that's kind of what he's been doing quite a bit here lately. So, again, I think that he has his best golf for sure is in front of him, and he could pop off this spring.
Yeah. Matthew Troutman, P.J. Maybank, a couple of other guys that could be a factor for you.
These guys keep competing. Troutman had an amazing summer and then rolled it into a very nice fall for us. He's continuing to grow and develop, and P.J. Maybank, very similar, super talented. His good is really good. He's been a little bit inconsistent, but man, he's really digging in and working hard.
Let me throw one more at you. You got a true freshman, Clark Van Galen, out of California that is really highly recruited.
Yeah, no doubt. Turlock, California. He's 6'5" and hits it about 450 yards, but he hits it pretty straight too, which is good. Yeah.
Ideal.
So, all of our freshmen, we've got quite a few freshmen. They're all just working so hard, and they want it so badly sometimes that they get, in their own way, and that's what we're trying to get them to slow down as much as we can. And, when Skip gets up here, or Porter, or any of our coaches here, they're going to tell you the same things, right? We're trying to get these guys to keep their belief system, and what got you here, and not get too far out over your skis. And sometimes that can happen as a freshman. But our guys, as they've come back here from the wintertime, I'm seeing a lot more of that. I'm seeing more confidence. I'm seeing more belief because they understand what our system is now.
Yeah. Let's take a look at your schedule. You mentioned it in the last segment, but another elite lineup of tournaments for you coming up in the spring. The upcoming schedule brought to you by the Trails Golf Club in Norman, where you'll experience everything you love about golf and more. Headed to Vegas this weekend. That starts on Sunday. Then Puma Valley, you've got the Valspar. Go through them with this coach, and this is a fun run you got ahead of you. Ended with the Aggie Invitational down there.
So we were talking about Vegas. It's probably as good of an event in the springtime as we can play in. Palma Valley out in San Diego, really awesome place. Last year, they put us up in John Wayne's original house. How about that? Yeah, he used to. So some of the movie stars. Yeah, they would go to Palma Valley. It's a special place right in the valley, beautiful mountains, probably 50 minutes away from San Diego, and we got a chance to stay in John Wayne's house, which was really cool. Then the Valspar, it's down at the Floridian, not too far away from West Palm Beach.
Yep.
Really cool golf course. The Merido Collegiate, that's our closest one to home, outside of maybe a regional championship. That's in the Dallas area.
Yeah, very prestigious.
Yep, Carrollton, Texas. And then we'll finish up down at A&M at the Traditions, which we've played there quite a few times. It's actually a really good prep for Sea Island in our SEC championship. Kind of dinky little holes that you got to, work your golf ball, and you have to be super finite with your, approach shots and whatnot. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to go down there before Sea Island.
Different, the old adage is different horses for different courses, or horses for courses. Is that the case with a golf team too? Do you throw the same 5 guys out there every time, or does the course factor into your lineup?
Course can factor in, especially as we come down the stretch of championship time. There's no doubt about it. But like right now, we're still just trying to work through like where we're at. And the cool thing about golf, similar to like swimming or a track and field, I mean, if you can run the fastest, you're usually going to be on the bus, right?
Right.
Well, for us, I mean, guys that are shooting the lowest scores, I mean, we recruit to that. I mean, guys have their opportunity to go qualify. We're kind of right in the middle of it right now. We just finished up round 2 today to go out to Vegas, and so we compete for spots. But then at some point, as we get closer to championship time, then we start as coaches. We really end up having to kind of figure out, our best 5 or 6 guys.
You don't leave Tiger at home just because you don't feel like it's a good course to finish, right?
No, we wouldn't leave Tiger at home.
Yeah, you're putting the best guys on the bus. I can't wait. I absolutely love watching your team, and here we go. It's golf season again. So
it's golf season.
Thanks for being here, bud.
Shout out to my good buddy, Councilman Scott Dixon. Happy birthday, brother. It's his birthday. He's out there in the crowd.
Happy birthday, Councilman. Ryan, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Ryan Hibble, stay with us. Skip Johnson coming up next here at Rudy's.
The Huddle is brought to you by Taco Mayo. Big appetite, bigger savings. Download and save today. Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today.
All right, let's talk some baseball. Welcome back to Rudy's, everybody. This segment brought to you by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Skip Johnson Sooners are 6-0, and they are the Round Rock Classic champions. Please welcome the head coach of the Sooners, Skip Johnson.
Thank you, Toby.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. A little tired from last night getting home at 4:30 in the morning.
I bet.
Think about how those kids felt having to go to class this morning, too.
A little easier coming back with the championship belt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It was at the end of that game, you're like, who's going to end up making a mistake to win the game?
Yeah.
And so do you ever really win at baseball or lose at baseball? Because you're never going to beat the game. So,
right. Well, you guys won 5-4 over number 2 ranked Virginia on, absolutely. On Saturday, they beat 7th ranked Oregon State, and then you started out the weekend with a victory over Minnesota. First off, it was freezing down there first couple of days. Everybody thaw out okay from that?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think the Friday night game was probably 20 degrees, wind chill or 18. And one good thing, hats off to our equipment manager, Tyler Schwalbach. He loaded up, he loaded up like 6 torpedo heaters, so we put a couple in the bullpens. And also, Dell Diamond, they do a great job as well. Nolan Ryan and Reed Ryan and Chris Amaderos, the general manager. The hospitality was incredible. They had heaters there for us as well.
Nobody more excited to see the forecast for this week in Oklahoma than you guys after what you endured last week. I think you're in for – you got 5 games this week here, and it looks like it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I actually had to put sunscreen on today when I went out, when I went to the field, so it was pretty incredible. We wish that weather it needs to be here all the time.
Yeah, here we go. Hopefully the rest of the season it'll be here. You have to be tickled with how you played down there, Coach. I thought all around, just to win those 3 games, very impressive.
Yeah, I thought that, on Friday night, Kyson went out and was really, really good. Their guy was good, too. I said this in the press conference up there. I don't know if the second week you're ever going to see a better baseball game played as far as the tradition of the game of baseball. It was a 3-2 game. I don't think there were any errors. It was a big hit, Then we just kind of rallied and got some big hits when we had to, and that was what was really special.
Kyson, let's talk a little more about Kyson Witherspoon, who today was named the SEC Pitcher of the Week. 12 strikeouts, no walks. He's your ace for a reason, Coach, but boy, he was sensational. This is his first start last week against Lehigh, but he was great there too.
Yeah, I mean, he works at it. He takes a professional approach. He's fun to watch pitch because he pitches with passion too, but he's also got a calm presence. And I think Coach Hibble said it just a minute ago. You'll see those guys that evolve and get better and how they grow in the game. It's just taking it one pitch at a time and being in control yourself. And that's what you're really seeing out of Kyson.
His brother Malachi got the start for you on Saturday against 7th-ranked Oregon State. Went about 4 1/3, I believe, and then the bullpen took it the rest of the way. But Malachi also very good early in the year.
Yeah, I mean, the first game, he gets hit in the mouth in the first inning, gives up a 2-run homer to probably one of their better hitters, a shortstop. Kind of went down the right field line and kind of left the yard. And the second inning is where he made his hay.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, most guys would have lost it. And last year, he probably would have lost that inning. He's got a bases-loaded jam, pitches out of a bases-loaded jam, and that taxed his arm a little bit, taxed his body a little bit. That's why he was only able to go 5 1/3, which is okay in that cold weather and whatnot. But it was mist and rain the whole time, and we started taking the momentum from that point on and getting big hit. 2-run homer by I think it was to separate the game was Mudler,
yeah.
And maybe a 2 or 3-run homer by Easton that really helped us separate the game. Was huge. Two of the, they switched spots, and that's pretty awesome. And they're, one's a senior and one's a junior, and so they've been in our program, and it was really exciting to see those two guys do that.
Kate Crossland came out of the bullpen, by the way, in that game. He ended up getting the victory. This is a guy who's coming back from injury, Coach, that sooner or later might factor into your weekend rotation. He's special too.
Yeah, just have to continue to build him up. I mean, it was, cold, and he threw 2 1/3 or 2. I forget exactly how many innings, but the pitch count was built up to 65 or 70. And so the next time out, he'll be 80. And you're just going to have to keep him up and keep building him up and, build that stamina where he can walk out there and throw 4, 5, or 6 innings before we just make that jump to start. And I think he's going to be a big-time starter, though. I really believe that.
A lot of eyes around the country on Cam Johnson. He got the ball for you on Sunday in that matchup with number 2 Virginia. 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk, had a little traffic, but he weathered it and kept you in the baseball game.
Yeah, I mean, that was what was pretty special about Cam is last week he walked 5, only punched out 3. This week he strikes out 5 against a really good team and only walks 1 in the same similar strike zone. It was a tight strike zone. Understood that. His work in the game was really good. He, in a bigger arena, in a bigger atmosphere, he controlled himself, and he threw a lot of pitches in with men on, and he threw 70 pitches, and we had to get him out of there. And the bullpen was outstanding yesterday.
Right.
Jones was outstanding. Catalano was outstanding. Crooks was outstanding. Hitt came in and did a piece in there, and then, I got a text last night from somebody that said, I can't believe you'd put a freshman in the 12th inning. I said, well, I guess he doesn't know who that freshman is. I'd watched him pitch in state championship in 2 years.
What a moment, though. Jaden Barfield's who
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's the 12th inning, tie game against the number 2 team in the nation, and Jaden Barfield hadn't pitched all year for you.
Yeah.
And he comes out of the bullpen and is just mowing them down.
Yeah.
And then dances on his way to the dugout.
Yeah.
I was fired up watching.
Yeah, I was, that Wednesday game that we were supposed to play at Globe Life, and it somehow miraculously didn't get to play because it's supposedly iced and
That's
everything
another
else.
story for another day, yeah.
And I was going to throw those guys, and I ended up having to throw Jaden in that game and Crooks really the night before. So it was real alarming, but I really hats off to Reggie, and hats off to Russell and Todd and Britt and all the the coaching staff, and how they got us prepared to go in there and play. Our offense was firing. It was really fun to watch them. I think we might have stole 4, 5, 6 bases on Friday night in a tough. Minnesota's really good. I'm telling you. You watch Minnesota. They're probably one of the better fundamental teams we've played all year.
They came back and beat Oregon State. on Sunday. It's a good squad. Let's take a look at the Round Rock Invitational All-Tournament team. The Sooners, obviously, as you'd expect, they go 3-0, so they're going to well-populated. You had Kyle Branch, second baseman. We're going to talk more about him next segment. Scott Mudler caught the final 2 games. Of course, Kyson Witherspoon was the pitcher on the all-tournament team. And Easton Carmichael, they listed him as DH. He was a DH for you 2 of the games. He caught 1 of the games as well. Honestly, you could have had 3 or 4 more guys on there. But Mudler, I want to wait to talk about Kyle Branch. Mudler's a guy we so often last year, and we're doing it again this year, we overlook when you're talking about the team, and he came up big for you again this weekend like he did several times last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's, he's a senior or a junior. I don't know what you with that new deal they got going on with junior college.
Hard to know.
Yeah. So I think that his work that he did this summer really worked on his bat, even though I think he hit 300 off left-handers last year. It was, he's a left-handed hitter. He's always been good behind the plate, solid that way. And I think his leadership, both of Easton and Mudler's leadership have been really good going into the spring. Been excited about that.
There's Easton Carmichael. He had the big home run to separate the game, as Coach mentioned, against Oregon State. All right, let's take a timeout. Sooners have 5 home games this week at Dale Mitchell Park. We'll talk about that and some of the offensive guys when we come back with Skip Johnson. We're at Rudy. Stay with us, everybody.
Thank you to our Cornerstone Television partners, OU Health, OG&E, Fowler Auto Group, and Coca-Cola.
Final segment of the Huddle. We got basketball coming up next hour, but we are joined now by Sooner leadoff man and center fielder, the pride of Ackworth, Georgia, Jason Walk. Everybody, how you doing, Jason?
Thanks for having me.
This segment brought to you by Didier Ranch. Didier Ranch, tradition tastes better. How much fun was that down in Round Rock?
It was amazing. Just the atmosphere, we had a lot of fans there. Just a great game, for the belt. So we got to go get it.
All 3 games were great, but tell me about the moment when Dawson lays down the bunt. It's thrown away. You guys win, and then we're all chasing Dawson into the outfield. First walk-off of the year.
Yeah. Before he was on deck, they were like, try to get Dawson to smile. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. And I seen Skip go over there. It was like, Dawson, smile. He started smiling. So that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, he's gonna do it for us. He's gonna do it for us. He's been staying down and just keeping his head forward. So I was happy for him.
You moved into the full-time leadoff role this year. You certainly played a lot of baseball for us a year ago, but John Spikerman was the dude last year, and now you take that spot. I would imagine that, it's prestigious to be the leadoff guy. It comes with a little bit of pressure as well, especially following in Spike's footsteps. How have you kind of viewed all of that going into the year? Because you've started off great.
Yeah, last year Spike just really prepped me to, take the game slow, and I really have no expectation, just play my own game. And especially having Bryce and KP out there, just great leadership from them, which really just keeping me very humble and just staying with the plan.
Skip, I'd love to know your thoughts on Jason. The weekend started, I believe, with an 11 or 12 pitch at bat for him against Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, things are gonna work out.
Yeah,
this
it was pretty awesome to watch him because we talk about not trying to get hits, talk about having quality at bats, and if we can run that pitch count up early on a pitcher, we can get their bullpen and see how their bullpen is. But he started off with 12 pitch at bat, and it was pretty awesome to see him. He's a table setter, he understands his strike zone, both sides of the plate. He gets a little. Sometimes we get mad at him. Gets a little careless on the bases. But you know what? It comes with. He also, like yesterday in the 7th inning, he goes first to third on an infield ground ball.
Yeah.
You just don't teach it. Something like that Spike would do, and that's also you worry about it, but you also. It comes and goes, so you just got to. He understands. He's smart. He's a good baseball player. He's played a lot of baseball in his life, high-level baseball. Been in Georgia, probably one of the best select baseball towns in the country. So we're really happy to have him.
It's elite speed, folks. If you've ever seen Jason run the bases, I will say that dude from Virginia had a heck of a pickoff move. yesterday, but we won't bring that
Yeah,
up.
it was pretty crazy. I mean, it was making Reggie mad when they'd call safe and the crowd was going crazy. But I was checking rooms the other night and Jason was out and he actually turned the light off and he got in bed before the light went off. It was incredible.
That's really fast. You're from Ackworth, and we're going to Georgia this year.
Yep.
What's that series going to be like for you?
I know I'm gonna try to make the best of it. I got a lot of friends and family coming out, and a few friends on the other team. So hopefully I can get some bragging rights up on them, and hopefully we have a great series against them.
I don't know my geography for the state of Georgia as well as I should. Where's Ackworth at?
It's probably like 20, 25, 30 minutes away from Atlanta. So, like, I'm considered metro in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close. Yeah.
All right. So not too far from Athens either. You can get there pretty easily as well. I want to ask both of you about Kyle Branch. Kyle Branch, freshman second baseman, was named the MVP of the Round Rock Invitational. Skip, this kid has an inside the park home run in his first ever college game, and then he goes down and just tears it up in Round Rock. It seems like you got another diamond here.
Yeah, what's awesome about Kyle is he reminds me a lot of Jackson last year in the maturity of what he goes about. Maybe it's because his brother's at Georgia.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was, but he also played a high level of select baseball. The one thing that I can tell you I really love to watch him, he's really consistent with his approach and the stuff that we talk about one pitch at a time. He does that, he understands his routine, he sticks by his routine. It's his lifeline, and he never wavers from it. Hasn't yet. Now, and you're going to see where he might struggle a little bit, and to see if he wavers from that. But he's really mature, and he's done a great job, and it's been really fun to watch.
Jason, you were a freshman last year. You know how tough it is the first time you see college pitching. It's pretty impressive what he's doing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of him. He puts in the work, and I mean everybody can see what he's been doing behind the scenes. So just proud of him, man. He's doing well, so great.
I want to talk about this week. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Sooners, brought to you by the Trails Golf Club. 5 home games this week. Texas Southern on Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are 4 o'clock starts both days. Cal State Northridge will be here on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoon. Sooners will then go back down to DFW to take on Dallas Baptist. Then Sam Houston and La Tech, and after that we're into SEC play. It gets on us in a hurry. Coach Jacob Golston going in the next couple of days?
He'll go tomorrow, and then we'll go Johnny Hostaff on Wednesday. So, we'll just look at it and play it by ear.
Excited to see Jacob get a chance?
Yeah, I was really excited to see him last Wednesday, and whatever happened down there. But, I'm excited. He got his bullpen, he got his work in, and we're looking forward to watching him pitch tomorrow.
Trails Golf Club in Norman, where you'll experience everything you love about golf and more. How excited was Coach when that game got banged on Wednesday in Arlington? He didn't talk about it at all, did he?
Not much.
Pretty happy about it, I'm sure. Do we know anything about Texas Southern? I mean, traditionally very athletic team that likes to steal a lot of bases.
Well, they were up by 11-5 against Louisiana Lafayette or something. It's hard to tell. I mean, getting home at 4:30 in the morning and trying to do all that stuff and getting ready to prepare for those guys. There'll be more so in the morning that we'll try to start preparing for them.
I want to ask you both, and we'll start with you, Jason, about Christensen and Gamble. These are 2 guys that are new to the program this year, transfers that came in that not a lot of people, myself included, knew a lot about until the season started. Both left-handed hitters. They've been fantastic. Seem to have a great eye at the plate, too.
Yeah, I mean, they've also 2 people that put in the work, and, the proof is in the progress. So they're doing well, seeing the ball, and, even if something goes wrong or they stay right there with me and they keep me in check too. So it's fun being out there with those 2 guys.
Skip, they seem unfazed against left-handed pitching too.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's been really exciting for both of them. From coming off the fall to the spring, it's like they've made a transformation and bought into the system. But when you have that kind of commitment out of kids doing it, and it just shows you what we can accomplish. I mean, it's just they don't care who gets the credit. They're going to do what coaches are telling them, the approach they're talking to them about their swing, about their work, all the little bitty things. When you have that kind of commitment, it's pretty amazing.
Dayton Taki's another new bat for you. Homered his first ever at-bat as a Sooner, and then went quiet for a little bit, but you brought him in yesterday, Sunday, as a pinch hitter and came up with 2 huge hits for you in that win over Virginia.
You know, I was talking to Russell on the way home, and he's like, man, Taki has some really good at-bats. It didn't surprise me. I mean, he was one of the best players in my son's conference at Weatherford Junior College. And he had yesterday the big moments in that game. He was a 3-hole hitter at a great junior college in Weatherford Junior College, and he was big time. And him to come up in those big moments didn't surprise me.
Yeah. More fun hitting a home run or making a great catch at the wall?
That was a great catch.
It was a great catch on Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, I actually checked my phone after, and Spike was like, yeah, you have the gene, kid. So, yeah, so.
You got the stamp of approval.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that was fun. He ran a mile to chase that ball down. What is the chemistry like? I assume it's still probably developing among the outfielders. You're playing 4, 5, 6 guys out there right now.
It's good. I mean, we're all close and all make sure we're like doing what we're supposed to do and on and off the field, keeping each other accountable. So it's all good. We have a great outfield room. So, you know, if one of us go down, we know the next man's up just as good. So,
Coach, what's the value of having 2 switch hitters like Jason and Jackson at the top of your lineup?
I think it's huge. I mean, one side or the other, they got to pick their poison, so to speak, and all the way down through the lineup. And if you have a left-hander that can hit left-handers like Mudler and Christensen and Gamble,
yeah.
And I mean, it's really good. I mean, you can force it, and you can try to make sure they don't pitch around one guy, can't run a left-handed lane in there or a right-handed lane in there, so to speak. And so that's what you're looking at when you get these grids, and we're sitting there, hey, there's the left-hand lane, I can bring this left-hander in if the numbers fit.
Yeah.
But it's changed so much analytically in baseball, it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, and we kind of, and it was hard for me to understand that until I started looking at it. And then I was like, you know what, I'll try it. So I tried it, and it really worked.
Yeah, it's one of the little things that not a lot of people are talking about. You got a lot of lefties available in your bullpen this year as well. We got to get out of here. Jason, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Skip, thanks for being here. Good luck this week, guys. Keep winning.
Yep.
Keep
Thank
winning.
you.
OU baseball, 5 home games this week at Mitchell Park. That's going to end it for the Huddle. Stay with us, though. We're talking basketball next on Sooner Sports Talk. Boomer Sooner, everybody.
The OU Huddle has been brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. And by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.